Hello my dear students. So today we are going to discuss how to write down all these question answers in your notebooks. So this is the lesson plan for your chapter 1, 3 questions. I'll tell you the format and how to proceed for writing these question answers, sentences, introduction and all in your notebook. So let's begin with the format. So here day and date are mentioned. You have to mention them on your left hand side. In the middle part you have to write unit 1 in the first line, then 3 questions, and in the third line you have to mention the name of the author, that is Leo Tolstoy. And on the right hand side you have to write classwork. Put this entire work in a box. So the format, the heading should be written with a black pen and proper capital letters should be used. Then after leaving one line, you'll come up for introduction. Introduction, it should be written with black pen. Then the explanation should be written using blue pen. Okay. The chapter 3 questions is written by Leo Tolstoy. In this chapter, a king is fascinated by 3 deeply important questions, namely, what is the right time to begin something? Which people should he listen to? What is the most important thing for him to do? In the process of finding an answer, he comes across a hermit who answers his questions. The chapter gives a beautiful message at the end and shows us a new way of life. So this was the introduction. Please write it clearly and please take care of your writing. You have to write all the things, the entire matter very neatly in your notebooks. After introduction, you have to write down framed sentences and please make the starting letter small of each and every word here. Okay, and the starting letter of sentence should be capital, but the starting letter of these words will be small. So the first word is seized. He seized her by the arm. The faithful. A faithful friend is hard to find. Then fainted. The man who fainted had been moved out of the way. Okay. Then we'll move on to question answers. Put the heading as answer these questions and mention write question 1 like this only and answer like this. You have to write the full word. So question number 1 is, why was the king advised to go to magicians? The king was told to go to magicians to get the answer to his first question, what is the right time to begin something? Since only magicians could look into the future, so he was advised to do so. Okay, so here also you have to write down the question using a black pen and answers you have to write down using a blue pen. Now question number 2, in answer to the second question, whose advice did the people say would be important to the king? The second question was, which people should he listen to? To answer this question, some said that the people most necessary to the king were his counselors, advisors. Others said that the priests were the most important. A few others chose the doctors, and yet others thought his soldiers to be the most important. So all these were the varied answers which were given by the people related to the second question. Now question number 3, what suggestions were made in answer to third question? The third question was, what is the most important thing to do? In answer to the third question, some said that the most important thing was science, others said fighting, and yet others chose religious worship. So in context to the third question, the answers were science, and different people gave the different views. Some others said fighting, and some other people said religious worship should be the most important work to do. Question number 4. Did the wise men win the reward? If not, why not? So no, the wise men did not win the reward, because as he got different answers to his question, the king was not satisfied, and therefore he chose not to give the reward to anyone. Question number 5. How did the king and the hermit help the wounded man? When the king and the hermit saw a large wound on the man's stomach, the king washed and covered it with his handkerchief. He dressed the wound again to stop the bleeding. Then the king and the hermit carried the man to a bed inside the hut. So in this way, both king and hermit helped that wounded man. Question number 6. Who was the bearded man? The bearded man was an enemy of the king. The king had put the man's brother to death and had also seized his property. That is why he wanted to take revenge on the king. Okay, so that bearded man was actually enemy of that king. Okay, now part 2 of question number 6. Why did he ask for the king's forgiveness? He had come with the intention of killing the king. So ironically, he was saved by the king himself, whose life he wanted to take. So that is why he asked for the king's forgiveness. Because he came to kill the king, but king in return helped him, saved his life. So that's why he asked for the king's forgiveness. The king forgave the bearded man. What did he do to show his forgiveness? So the king forgave the man. He showed his forgiveness by telling him that he would send his servants and his own doctor to look after him. He also promised to give back the man his property. So in this way, the king showed his forgiveness to the bearded man, and he also forgave him politely. The question number 8. What were the hermit's answers to the 3 questions? Write each answer separately. Which answer do you like most and why? So related to the first question, the hermit said that there is only one time that is important, and that time is now. For the second question, he said that the most necessary person is the person you are with at a particular moment. And for the third question, he answered that the most important thing is to do good to the person one is with. This is because all are sent into this world for that purpose alone. So according to us, I like the first answer the most, because it teaches us that present and now is the only time we have in our hands to do the task we want to do. So it suggests us to value time. So according to you, it can vary also. Fine. Now there is one long answer question as well. The question is, describe the king in your own words. So you all can describe. You have read the chapter, so we can repeat as well. The king wanted to be a good ruler. He was seeking answers for the 3 questions which he thought would help him in his mission. The king was kind-hearted. When he found the hermit tired of digging the ground, he offered him his help. He saved bearded man's life by dressing his wounds and looking after him. He also forgave the bearded man even after knowing his intentions. He was down to earth and very kind. So what all qualities of the king we got from this chapter? We got that he was very polite, he was kind-hearted, he was down to earth. Okay, so these were the qualities depicted in this chapter related to the king. Okay, so till here you have to do all these question answers in your notebook very neatly and clearly as told. Please make the format properly and give all the headings clearly. make proper use of full stops and question marks and capital letters. Okay, we'll meet you in next video and we'll start up with the next topic, that will be our poem. Till then, bye bye, take care.